Hello everybody and welcome to the realm of myths. My name is Phaethodas and here we have yet another build for Titan Quest for the best game ever made. This time we have a build that of a type that I have never made before. It is a trickster class and this build is all about using spells all the time. And the main skill of the build I would say is this one, the lay trap. Finally, for the first time ever after many years, I make a build here where this skill is the main one. The Trickster class is the one that uses Rogue Mastery and Rune Mastery. Rune Mastery comes from Ragnarok DLC, which is an awesome DLC. In Rune Mastery, we use the skills that you see. I'm level 65 by the way. At this point, I have maxed out this skill, the lay trap of course, with this one and this one. If you get this skill up to plus 4 levels, I mean level 12 out of 8, then you will get, if you get this one up to 2016 of course, you will get 0 cooldowns for lay trap. Which means that now this skill has no cooldowns and you can keep casting the skill all the time. Of course, this is pointless to do, keep casting the skill all the time, because you have a 3 summon limit. You can have at the same time up to 3 of these traps on the ground. So yeah, sometimes it is useful to have no recharge time on this one, sometimes it is not. I have maxed out this one of course, and I have maxed out the poison gas bomb, the sharpnail, and the poison mayhem. In Rune Mastery we have maxed out Secret Rage for survivability and frightening power for the same reason. This one, Rune Ward Feather, this one is very important for this build, you will see why. We have this one maxed out, Rune Ward Absorb, because we play with a shield and we need energy. And this one helps with energy. It also helps with reducing the shield recovery time, which means when you reduce the shield recovery time, then you block with your shield more frequently. Here we have maxed out the Aftershock, but not yet this one. I will max out this one later. This one I maxed out because when you use this one at this level, level 10, maxed out totally, plus 4 levels, you deal all of these very great things to enemies. Reduced armor, reduced resistances, which is very important, and all of these things, skill disruption, which is a very powerful skill. This is why this add-on was more important than this one, which deals already super great damage. I mean, at level 11, dealing 783 elemental damage and at the same time 40% reduction to enemies' health. This is super powerful. Even though the reduction to enemies' health doesn't really work on big bosses. This one is maxed out on plus 4. This one is not, because this skill costs lots of energy. If you max it out, it eats away a very big chunk of your energy. And for now, this is not that important. After I level up, maybe after I get 10 levels for example, I will spend the attribute points on energy to get more energy points, and then I can max out this one and I will have fewer problems. Not as big as now of problems. Here we have maxed out this one because it is important to have bleeding vitality resistances, and also strength points and movement speed help very much. And here I have maxed out the manner wall because this one is great and it works perfectly well in this build, because this build is all about using spells all the time, traps, things like that. Yeah, this was my poison gas bomb. Attribute points. In attribute points I have spent attribute points 0 points on health, I have spent points on strength, I have spent 0 points on intelligence, I have spent points on dexterity. On strength and dexterity I have spent an equal amount of points. Why? Because this build needs enough strength points and enough dexterity points of course to be able to equip some equipment, some items. For example this one, which requires 639 strength points, but I have 59% reduction. The reduction comes from this item, and this item also provides offensive ability. The offensive ability of this character is 882. It is perfect for legendary. To be able to not miss your enemies with your melee attacks. Because this is a melee weapon. But the funny thing is that I'm not even using melee attacks with this weapon. This weapon right now is a perfect stat stick for this build. And this is how I use it. And as you can see down here, instead of having the basic attack, I have the poison gas bomb. And I cannot attack my enemies. The only way I can attack my enemies with my melee weapon, as you can see, is after the cooldown starts running of this skill. Now you have some small window to attack with your melee weapon if this one is on cooldown. Yeah, the point of this build is not to be a melee build, it is to be a trickster build, a trapper build, a spellcaster build. The goal was to put enough points on strength and dexterity to be able to equip items, and then I spent some points on energy. On energy because this build needs energy. It has an energy problem. And right now, the problem of energy is not a big one, but as I said before, if I want to increase this level and also this one, you understand that we need even more energy points, or at least energy cost reduction, but it is not easy to get energy cost reduction with the current items here, and my skills do not provide energy cost reduction, so this is a problem, and I have to rely on spending attribute points on energy now. Which I will do. I will, I don't know. I will probably spend at least 10 or maybe 20 more attribute points on energy. Each attribute point provides 40 energy points. If I spend 10, I will gain 400 energy points. It will be much better. So yeah, these are the attributes. Now, as you can see, the resistances. If I activate the Rune of Life, which lasts for 10 minutes, my vitality and bleeding are perfect, which is perfect especially for vitality, sorry. My pierce resistance is good enough, lightning is not good enough, cold resistance is my worst, it is minus 76%. If I get hit by bosses that deal cold damage, I'm probably dead. This one is not good enough, but anyway, it is not that bad. And the same applies here, it is not good enough. The combined armor of the build is not good enough, mostly because of the helmet. I have no physical resistance. My secondary resistances, slowdown is good enough. Stun resistance is perfect. I have nothing else. So I was trying to make a build which would be a trickster, and this is what I ended up with. This is a very nice build. It is also a very fun build to play with. It is I have never made such a build before. And I don't have many upgraded items. Actually, as far as I remember, none of my items is upgraded. So, now for the items, I use the Red Fist Battle Guards. This is a great item, it provides health points and health regen. And I decided to go with this one, the incarnation of Amun-Ra's Glory, because it provides health, survivability, energy, and vitality damage resistance. Here we have the Wraith Lord's Fibula of Convocation. Bonus to all pets from the Wraith Lords and bonus to all pets from the Convocation suffix. And I went with Demon's Blood because I wanted to get elemental and vitality and stun resistances. This item is perfect for this build because Lay Trap is not a pet, but it gets bonus to pets from gear. It benefits. All bonus to pets from gear apply to this one. This works like a pet even though it is not a pet. And this is great because this way, if you can equip items that provide bonus to pets, your lay traps become even stronger. Much more stronger. And this one is a perfect item because it provides 2 times bonus to pets. Elemental damage and total damage and attack damage compared to health. Here we have the Stonebinder's Cuffs. This item is perfect for this build because I wanted to get all of my skills on +4 levels. Especially I wanted to get this one on +4 so that I could remove all the cooldowns from this one. And of course having other skills on +4 makes the skills very powerful. This one, Poison Mayhem. This one which applies also piercing and bleeding damage to enemies. This skill initially deals piercing damage, as we can see, only piercing damage, but with this amulet here, which provides elemental damage to pets, now it deals also elemental damage, this one, piercing damage and elemental damage, which is amazing. And with this one, when we set the poison gas bomb, when we throw poison gas bomb to enemies, we deal poison damage and also bleeding and piercing damage as well on enemies that get hit by this one. So we have different types of damage in this build. It is not just piercing of lay traps. Here we have the Shield of Skald. I use this one because of the total speed that it provides, because of the rune ward absorb, and because of the resistances, and of course having the Mystic Circle activated upon taking ranged damage is very good to have. It is an added, it is not just a type of damage, it is 3 types of damage: Vitality, Elemental, Poison. And it has only 3 seconds recharge, so yeah, this is a Trapper and Trickster build, which means that you want to be casting as many skills and spells as possible. So yeah, we have this one here that is very very nice and very fun to play with. Here we have the Sentry's Loop. This ring is amazing because it provides recharge reduction to all skills, 20%, and plus 4 to lay trap, and bonus to all pets. So with this bonus to all pets, which is physical damage, the 70 damage is physical, this one now deals even physical damage. It deals piercing damage initially, now with the ring it deals physical damage, and with this amulet it deals also elemental damage. And I have it 2 times. This is another copy. I have found this item 2 times and I equipped both of the rings here. Of course, I don't get any resistances from these rings, and this is why my resistances are not good enough. But it is okay, In this bit, I'm not going to try to play hardcore deathless. I'm going to make my lay traps as powerful as possible, and also make the build as enjoyable as possible. All of these types of damage, numbers of bonus to all pets, they stack together and they make your pets much more powerful. Here we have the River Helmet. This is a very great item. It is a normal tier item, it has only 122 armor, but the rest of the stats of the item are, I would say, very high tier. Some of the stats are legendary tier. 63% fire resistance is legendary tier. 41% pierce resistance, I would say it is even epic tier. And you get total speed and offensive ability, and you get the skill Virtue Bombs. I'm using this one mostly for the skill. The skill is this one down here, the Virtue Bombs. This one has only 2 seconds recharge. This one is a skill that you activate yourself. What does this mean? This means that every time you use this skill, which is this one, you throw a bomb, it explodes, and as the skill description says, it releases up to 5 fragments. Each one of the fragments deals 160 physical damage and up to 200 fire damage. Now, since this skill is a skill that you yourself activate as a player, it is not a proc skill, it doesn't trigger automatically by a chance. It triggers only when you trigger it. This means that this skill gets buffed by attribute points and damages to, percentages to physical damage or fire damage, stats like that. Which means that this bombs now, it doesn't deal only 160 damage, it deals much more because we have strength points, which increases physical damage. This one buffs the poison gas bomb. And we have from other items maybe your skill some percentages to physical damage or total damage, which again increases even further the physical damage of this skill. And the same applies to the fire damage of the skill, which gets increased by buffs to intelligence or percentages to elemental damage, things like that. Yeah, which means that this one is a strong, I would say, okay, look, don't expect a legendary to kill many enemies with this skill alone. It is a very fun skill to have, and I wanted to use it, and I thought this skill would be very nice to have in such a build especially, which is all about casting spells all the time, a trickster build with traps and things like that. It is in my plans in the future to make a build specifically tailored around this skill, the Verge Bobs, and I will call that build Bobberman. I have this idea since 2 years ago when, or 3 years ago when Ragnarok was released. But yeah, I make all the time builds, but I have made other builds and I haven't made this build yet. Here we have the Bone Crusher. As I said before, I use this one as a stat stick because of the 23% armor protection, of the 28% physical damage. For example, this physical damage increases the damage of this one because it is a passive global stat. It increases all of the physical damage of all skills and attacks with weapons and whatever you do in the game. It also provides slow resistance, some health points, and of course the plus 40% damage to undead. It is very crucial for this build, because with lay traps and piercing damage, undeads have super good piercing resistances and physical resistances. Also they have very good poison damage absorption, bleeding damage immunities, so you need something more against undead, and this one helps very much because, as we said before, this one provides bonus to pets physical damage, this one provides bonus to pets elemental damage which helps against undead, but it also gives total damage which increases even further the physical damage that this one deals now because of the flat physical damage of this one and this one. And this one gives also bonus to pets, as we see below, 47 damage and 10% physical damage. So you stack together all of these numbers of damage, flat damage and also percentages to physical damage and also bonuses to pets, and at the same time you have the plus 40% damage to undead, which means that 40% damage to undead. Okay, this 40% damage to undead is a global one, which means it is not just physical damage, it is damage, which means that increases your damage to undead. If you attack undead, they will receive more damage. Now, about this one, the 40% damage to undead, since Lay Trap is not a pet, but it gets benefits from pets, I'm not sure, I haven't tested if this 40% damage to undead truly works with Lay Traps. I mean, if Lay Traps truly deal 40% more damage to undead, it should be, because it is not a pet. It just benefits. It benefits from bonus to pets, but I'm not sure about that. Maybe I will need to do some, testing of this one. But anyway, even if it doesn't work with Lay Trap, it works with all of the attacks of our characters. Here we have this item, BabiziG, however you pronounce that. I use this one because it is perfect for this specific build, because of the resistances, the pierce damage output, the health, total speed, and +1 to rogue mastery skills. Here we have the Wheel of Taranis. I decided to go with this one because of the resistances that it provides, and because of the +1 to the skills, and because of the Giant's Bane. The Giant's Bane is a spell, it is this one here, which deals lightning damage, and a plus 300% damage to giants. Chuck! So, since this build is a trickster, and a trapper, I call it a trapper trickster. I thought it would be nice to have even more, a bigger variety of spells to use, so I decided to go with this one and experiment with this one a little bit. And here we have an elemental damage type of spell. This is the build actually, guys. I haven't upgraded any of these items, as you can see. If we upgrade, I think this is not upgraded, the Bone Crusher, but yeah, this also is not upgraded as far as I remember, and this is not upgraded. The average damage doesn't really matter, because in this build we kill enemies with spells, and we cannot see spells and bonus to, the damage from bonus and damage from pets in these numbers here. So these numbers here are totally irrelevant right now for this build, totally. I will go and kill a couple of enemies so that you can see some combat. Here I activate this one. Now we have perfect bleeding vitality resistances because of this one. And let's go ahead and kill a couple of enemies. I will go here, this is legendary. We can kill some undeads here so that you can see. You can see that we kill skeleton enemies quite fast. It is very important in this build to keep moving, keep running to avoid attacks from enemies, and at the same time to keep casting spells, skills, everything. Yeah, as you can see, this build makes a very big mess. And it is very fun because you keep casting spells all the time. Maybe some people don't like this kind of playstyle. Okay, I understand it. Not everything is for everyone. And you can keep moving, keep casting spells. There is too much action going on with this build.
I know it's there. How can I go?
If you are a piano player, if you like playing the piano, then this build is for you, because I keep clicking spells and hotkeys all the time, as you can see. You pick up this item. Of course, this build is going to be a bit expensive when it comes to energy pots, which is potions, because you know, you can see that we eat energy all the time. Even though sometimes we gain energy because of this skill here, the absorb skill. But yeah, usually this build is going to be very energy costly, especially if we level up more some of our skills, Seal of Fate, and the other one, the add-on of Runic Mines. Now they hit me. This one gets poison bombs. Oh yeah, did I show you this one, the Crushing Blow of this item? This skill Crushing Blow, which has 5 seconds recharge, is one more reason why I use this item as a statistic. So, let's go this way. I will reach the next rebirth fountain. Of course, if you keep casting Seal of Fate all the time, you listen all the time to this sound effect. Turu, turu, this one. This is a bomb. Yeah, the bomb hit the enemy. So, this is a build. This is a build, guys. It is a very fun build to play with, of course. It is a bit of a glass cannon build, especially when it comes to cold resistance. My cold resistance is ridiculous, because it is super low. And I'm not expecting to go deathless through the game, but I'm expecting from this build to give me a ton of fun. It is a very fun build to play with. So, this is my Trapper Trickster build. Finally, because I know, you know, some people have been asking for a Trickster build since a while, for some time. So here we are finally with a trickster build. So guys, everybody, thanks for watching this video. Hit the like button if you like what you see to support the channel. If you got to ask anything or say anything, leave a comment below. I will reply as soon as possible. Also subscribe if you like what you see. We have much more content coming up, especially from Titan Quest, because Titan Quest is the main thing here in this channel. And I will see you super very soon with more videos and live streams. Have fun and stay healthy.